I'll give you the floor on Seattle. You mentioned about how they whipped the Niners. What do you make of Seattle as the 1 seed in the NFC and how far they can go? Mark Schlereth.
Yeah, I think they have a front row seat all the way to the Super Bowl. And they drive it down. They missed a 4th down and 2, right? And like a 4th and 1, whatever it was, down by the goal line. And I'm like, what is the aversion to kicking field goals in this league? Like, how have we gotten to this point where it just is almost like it's disrespectful to even kick a field goal? And I'm like, why would you do that? And then I watched that defense just line up. It really did remind me of the way they played when they won a championship under Pete Carroll with the Legion of Boom. It was like, come get a taste defense. They were like, hey, man, this is what we play. We're not complicated. We are just going to physically wear you out. I felt sorry for Brock Purdy. He got the living snot beat out of him. But every time they had a dude that they dumped the ball off to, that defensive back or that linebacker were there just punishing that pass catcher and putting him on the ground. There was no leaky yardage. There was no yards after catch. It was bam, hit, 2 or 3 guys round the football, and then it was all of a sudden where you thought you'd be in, 2nd down and 4, you're all of a sudden you're in 2nd down and 8, and you're like, we didn't get anything out of that play. That was the Seattle Seahawks defense. They were phenomenal, and I'll give Sam Darnold credit. People will say, well, they only scored whatever it was, 13 points or whatever, but understanding and having the maturity to know, hey, our defense, they're not getting a sniff on our defense. So you know what? I'm going to be judicious with the football. I'm going to find Smith and Jigba. We're going to create enough plays. We're going to run enough plays. We're going to run the ball enough to be successful. But I'm not putting us in harm's way because that's the only way that San Francisco is going to be able to beat us tonight on the road. And that shows a level of maturity that I think a lot of people just don't have. So I think the Seattle Seahawks right now are playing the best football in the NFC without question. They and Jacksonville are, to me, going into this playoffs, the 2 teams that are playing their best football.
Yeah, Jacksonville's terrific, man. We had Liam Cohen on yesterday. I had a little bit of fun with him. I said, when you talk about the Bills this week, would you mind referring to them as a small market team? That would be great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the coach is saying it with his chest. Trevor Lawrence is buying all of what Liam Cohen is selling. Defensively, only the Bears take the ball away more from them, and nobody gives up yards on the ground as stingily as Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And that's what James Cook. That's the engine of the Bills, right? They're kind of going into that grinder. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.